Hi, everyone. This is Grace Cho, and welcome to the new series from the Creative Companies podcast, where we spotlight creative businesses that are building with purpose, vision, and of course, a whole lot of personality. We're starting in Savannah, Georgia, with Service Brewing, a veteran-owned company founded by Ryan and Meredith Sutton. Built on a deep commitment to military service, their brewery supports veteran organizations, hires transitioning service members, and even takes its name from the idea of giving back to country, community, and craft. But Service Brewing is also a deeply creative business. From their label design and storytelling to taproom experience and marketing campaigns, they approach every part of the brewery with imagination. We've collaborated with them through Entrepreneur on a few open calls where artists design cans, and there's a new release coming soon. I'm so excited to highlight a company that blends service and creativity in such a thoughtful way. And yes, we talk about everything from oyster stouts to a can design inspired by declassified military unit. Let's get into it. Welcome, guys. Meredith and Kevin. I'm really excited to talk to you about how this whole company came about. I would love to know, are you the founders? How was it launched? What's the story behind all of this?
Well, we are the founders. It goes way back to a time where Meredith and I had just started dating, and I was working for my father in the healthcare management business, and he passed away suddenly in 2011. Meredith and I had been dating for about 7 months at that point. And it was time for me to choose my own passion and chase my passions. And Meredith was a great supporter of me, helping me find that passion. And so she decided for Valentine's Day, her favorite day of the year, to give me a home brewing kit in 2012 and immediately started brewing beer at the house. And shortly thereafter, we got together and started making plans of how we were going to open a brewery together in Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, that's such a romantic story. It's really heartwarming. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that's how it started.
Pure romance.
And it's put a lot of pressure on Valentine's Day for me ever since.
Understandably. Now you got to tell the audience, like, where's the business based and how many people do you have working with you?
So we're in Savannah, Georgia, right downtown. The backside of the brewery is on River Street. We're within the to-go cup zone downtown where people like to walk around and enjoy everything that's beautiful about Savannah, including our brewery. We have 24 employees. Additionally, we have 3 interns. So one of the things the military has done is they've created a skill bridge program that allows people leaving the military at the end of their commitments to intern with approved companies around the country, around the world, and spend 17 weeks learning a trade. And so we currently have 3 soldiers with us that are going through that program. We usually have 2 or 3 at any given time, learning the process of brewing, cleaning, selling, taproom operations, a little bit of reporting and analysis.
We've hired a couple of them. They've stayed with us.
That's amazing. 24 employees. Wow, that's a big operation. It's not small. Tell us about the type of beer that you produce. What do you do? What do you make?
So we're making all kinds of beer. Styles kind of come and go with popularity, what people want. We try and make a beer for every customer. So our most popular beer is kind of the old classic Pilsner. We call it Rally Point. And it's a German-style Pilsner with traditional German hops, Perle and Saaz. That's our most popular, best-selling, fastest-growing. We make IPAs like Compass Rose and Freedom Machine and the projects we've been doing with Entrepreneur with our double IPA series. That's the most popular and best-selling style of beer throughout the country. We do saisons, we do wheat ales, stouts with oyster shells, Savannah Banana beer for the Savannah Bananas baseball team.
We have a really strong small batch program as well, where we release new beers every week from our small batch system, which is basically a half barrel keg. But a lot of them are, fun, creative beers just to keep things exciting in the tap room, keeping new things on the menu. Sometimes those beers actually become larger beers, larger scale brewed beers. So they're literally our test batches for a beer that is going to be produced at 30 barrels or 60 barrels.
Or 120.
Or 120.
Wonderful. I wish I could. There was like a testing capability for some of the folks up here. We've been wanting to do that for a long time. How did you come up with the name? I kind of know, but I would love for you to share with everybody how you came up with the name.
Well, we're a veteran-owned brewery. We have 20 out of 24 investors are veterans of the Army, Navy, Marines, and in modern times, the American population has been very supportive of the military, and quite often you hear "Thank you for your service." And so we've taken that word "service" and really all of its applications, not just service to your country, but service to your community, service to those around you, and then apply that to how we do everything in our tap room, outside of our tap room, and our charitable support.
I think that's brilliant. I love the definition of services to a wider scale. If you were to describe what I call the brand ethos, what do you stand for? I know this is kind of a big question, but what's your philosophy?
Service. I mean, it defines what we get up for every morning. It's the hospitality part of that word. It's the giving back part of that word, and helping others.
Helping others.
Yeah, I mean, the brewery is not just called service; it provides service. We give a place for our community to come together. The community that supports the brewery allows us to take care and support the charities that we rotate through every 6 months. We provide a space for a lot of people to do things that they couldn't do anywhere else in the Savannah area.
Tell us more about that. Like, you have a lot of give back programs. You do a lot to help others. Give us some examples of what you've done in the past.
So we've, just as an example, it's always been about giving back for the brewery. And our launch party here in Savannah, our tap room wasn't open yet, and we weren't allowed to sell beer to the general public when we opened.
That was a Georgia law.
Law in 2014. So we had our launch party at the local American Legion, and all the proceeds from that day were split between two charities. The 200 Club, which takes care of families of fallen firefighters and first responders, and Healing for Heroes, a charity in Beaufort County, South Carolina, that helped veterans transition from service to civilian life.
And we've had a lot of, just from being able to support these charities and people recognizing that we're doing it, but we're also doing a lot of research and choosing these charities to support that are giving 90 cents to the dollar to the individuals that are receiving the services from the charity.
But we've also, we've donated our space to our local Creative Coast, which helps folks get their company started. A makers group that's run by a local pastor who gets folks together every quarter and inspires them to create and to make. So it's not just the giving back to the charity, but it's also, like I said, creating a space.
Yeah, we do rent our tap room, our production and packaging facility for many events. But yeah, there are sometimes people that are like, hey, we don't know where to go. We don't really have a budget. We're doing this thing. And if it's something that's, is good for the community, and, we always try to support those efforts in any way that we can. So there's that. But with these charities that we're supporting, they get connected to other businesses and other organizations. And so we supported the minority veterans, and they were working out of their garage, and a young man came in and asked about the charity, and I told him about him, and he goes, we've been actually looking for a charity to support. And he's like, I'm going to bring them up to my boss. Well, they ended up reaching out to us and letting us know that they got a $40,000 donation from this company that learned about them through us. So they were able to get out of their garage and rent a real headquarters and have an office. And so there's been a lot of great stories that have come out, because we were supporting them for 6 months. So in that 6 months, we're talking about the charities on our social media. We have signage up in our tap room. And so some of these guys that don't have, a wide audience or marketing money, they're able to, we're able to share what they're doing, and, with our patrons and followers. So
it's incredible. It's such a generous purpose to your business. I don't see that a lot. So amazing, noble Very, very unique and different and wonderful. So many charities must come to, do a lot of people come to you for help? Like, it must be difficult to choose.
We do. We have a lot of community things that happen. I mean, it's not veteran focused. I mean, sometimes it's a group of artists, raising money for a show, or it's someone that is raising money for cancer. We support them in a different way. A lot of times, it's like Kevin said, we can donate our space. If we have it available, we'll donate some items for an auction.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we do get a lot of people that call us, but that's just Savannah. Everybody does. Savannah's really great about people coming together and helping. It's not just us. It's a lot. We're very fortunate to live in a community where people are really, really supportive of each other and helping.
That's wonderful.
I don't know if it's like we live in a little bubble here, but if there's a tragedy or if there's something that happens to someone or their family or their business, everybody comes together. And so I would say that we support a lot of animal rescues. We've had cat tents come in here and puppies. We have a puppy bowl. We're always doing stuff with animals. But yeah, we definitely do support our community and different needs that folks may have. But for our charitable giving, our beer is a vehicle for, is focused on veterans and first responders. And we do have folks that call and will tell us like, hey, you should check out this charity. Or we've had charities that have called and say, hey, please consider us. And, we take note of all those recommendations, and we have supported some of the ones that we've learned about. Because there's so many people doing great things out there.
It's very heartwarming to see that there's still some good in the world. You spoke about artists, and that's one of the reasons for how we connected in the first place is you support the artists. There's obviously a big art school near you, but who oversees this creative aspect of the business? This is something I admire with everything you produce, from the look and feel of the brewery to the videos you guys produce. It's just incredible. Who does all that?
That's obviously Kevin. I'm joking. That's mine. And it's something that has evolved over the years as we've been able to grow our team. We're fortunate to have a really great, strong creative team. We have a great tap room team. We have a great production team, and everybody has great ideas. And developing them and is something that, we'll be able to execute an idea very quickly. Sometimes we put it aside because it's too complicated and we have too much stuff we're doing, but we come back to it. But yeah, all the atmospheric visuals, that kind of stuff is me overseeing all that.
It's kudos to you. It's so intelligent, but it's really fun. It's very curious. And the narratives that you put together for the open calls that you do for the beer can design, who writes all that? Where do those come from?
Well, we meet together as a team and we talk about it. There's been some really fun declassified things coming out of the government. And so
CIA has done some entertaining work over the years.
Yeah. It's been, mainly just research, and we talk about it, or, sometimes Kevin finds an article like the most recent one we were doing right now about the Ghost Army. He brought that up to us, and there's a great documentary on PBS that talks about the Ghost Army. It's such a cool story with artists in the military during World War II. But yeah, so basically it's just, one day during work, my creative assistant and I just watched that PBS special for an hour. I was like, we should do this every day. Just like learn something.
I love them. Recently there's been so much talk about, because of the drone activity, the UFOs and aliens coming to, and then how the government knows all about that stuff. So I see what you mean about strange stories.
I can't wait for those to be declassified. Eventually we might run out of declassified entertaining stories, and we'll just have to start going with the actual stories that are happening now.
Yeah.
The drone story. We'll have to be making up our own stories. But yeah, it's entertaining for sure.
100%. It's just such a unique way to present yourself. Now, the way you use those stories to translate into animators and artists to draw the scenes, that's genius. That's absolutely genius. So how did you come up with that? Did this happen by accident? Was it all by design? How did this evolve?
So I've actually personally just from going to being at SCAD and submitting work for different types of things, I'm familiar with it. And then also the whole being inspired and, trying to develop an idea. I mean, especially with these stories, is the more information you can give, but also have it laid out for them, have the name. So they have a background, but they also have a name that is like the root up for the design, and then having pretty much a blank canvas to work off of. But, we don't tell them exactly what to draw.
Right.
Tell them to loosely base it, have fun with it. And to, once the winner's chosen and we meet with them, they basically will submit some, pencil drawings. And I mean, we've done this 3 times with Entrepreneur, and every single time the artists like nail it. Like I've never been like, can you do that again? We have, I guess, gravitated to artists that present storytelling in their work, their portfolio that they submit. And, we can see that their work is a little more on the narrative side, because that's kind of you got to be able to tell a story between each can.
I say there's a lot of people who apply. You really have like a brilliant knack of picking the right artist, I have to say. So
yeah.
You have an eye. And then when they produce it and they come out, it is like a movie premiere. Everybody gets so excited about it. There's always an edge of like dark humor or humor. It's so interesting.
Well, Senja, who we're working with currently, she does animation too. So, which was so cool. When we not only, paid her to design the 3 cans, we also paid her additionally to do animation for each can that we could use for promoting the beer. So
is there going to be like a QR code on there so that we could see the animation, like customers?
They're on our Instagram, and yeah, that's a good idea, but we
should do that.
Yeah, for the future. But yeah, that is it's on our Instagram and it's on her Instagram. She has a beautiful Instagram, and she's got it's very well curated and really defines like who she is as a person, as an artist and creator. She's been a joy to work with.
So your target customer base, a lot of veterans, I would imagine. And when they look at these cans, it must appeal to them greatly because of the story behind it.
Yeah, I mean, we really try to have a welcoming environment for everyone. And, when it comes to these cans, it's just sharing these artists' works and the playfulness of creating beer and packaging. And I think everybody enjoys seeing the cans for sure.
I love them. They're true collectibles, honestly. They're beautiful, they're fun.
Every year we do a Christmas tree in our tap room as a beer can Christmas tree, and it's looking super great with these double IPA can series that we've added to it over the years.
I love it. So when I look at your overall marketing campaigns, it's so fun. It's so unique. It could appeal to so many different people. It sticks out. You go to the average beer aisle and you don't see the stuff like this. So do you ever envision yourself going broader, like than just the local scene? Like, would you ever do like a national advertising or something like that?
Never's a long time. We're focused regionally right now. We have our beer in North and South Carolina, as well as all of Georgia. We're supporting the Savannah Bananas on their tour around the country. So we're getting our beer into some of those stadiums for those games.
Yeah.
But for us, and where our focus is today is hyper-local and going deep at home to try and get our beer into every location that sells beer.
Is beer it, or do you plan on expanding your product base at all to other merchandise or
beer-based products?
Yeah, just beer. Do you have non-alcoholic beer or just beer?
We don't have non-alcoholic beer yet. The reality of making a safe non-alcoholic beer for distribution is still evolving.
Mm.
The folks that are dedicated to doing it have machinery that is designed to essentially make beer and dilute it to a point where it becomes non-alcoholic.
Yeah.
Whereas for us, as the science and the technology evolves, it would be more affordable to make a non-alcoholic beer more in line with the production setup that we have.
Now, recently, not to be a Debbie Downer or anything, but like recently I've seen articles where like alcohol is really bad for you, causes all these horrible problems. And they're like thinking about putting notifications on alcoholic beverages and stuff like that. Do you have a point of view on that? Like, how have you discussed it? What do you think of it?
It's funny because I actually had a friend that posted something the other day where she was like, what the, WTF? Because one article was like, wine and beer is great for your skin, hair, and like, all this stuff. And then the other article was like,
you're going to die.
You're going to die. And alcohol has been around for a really, really, really long time. I don't think it's alcohol. Obviously anybody overindulging in something is going to kill them. In my opinion, it's what is going into the beverages and the chemicals and the preservatives and the unknowns that are going into, and that's in all of our food. It's not just alcohol. And there's, plenty of research behind that. So I think people just want something to write about all the time.
Yeah, and it's a big movement. And very few studies or articles that are published about it have factors of risk associated with their claims.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing is people aren't reporting fairly about the benefits or the dangers of consuming alcohol because they're trying to make one point or the other. As far as putting things on labels, the federal government has been working to get nutritional facts put on beer, wine, and spirits for a long time. And it was very close to getting it done a few years back, and somebody put the kibosh on it.
Yeah.
And they're starting to have that conversation again. And I think it's a good thing to have. People need to know some of the factors of what they're consuming so they can take some responsibility.
I agree 100% with that. There's large breweries and there's very small breweries that are doing things great and not great. And there's no regulation. So,
yeah. So I look at your business. There's probably a lot of other breweries, past, present, future. What makes yours succeed? What do you think is the right core formula as to why it's working? I think creativity, my personal opinion, obviously the philosophical underbelly of what you do, I think is an important factor. The second thing, in my opinion, is like this amazing creativity that's coming out in setting yourself apart. I think those two play a lot. But I would love to hear what you guys think makes you so successful.
I think that we both have very strong points of how we work and how we process things. And, as far as like adapting, like Kevin, if something's wrong, he just brushes it off his shoulder and keeps moving forward. And that's something I've learned, in my own work and life. Sometimes I can, a little heady about it. I'm a visual person and I'm an artist. So, like if something that go right, I'm like, and that could be his personality from how he is, or it could be, military training. I'm a very visual person, and I think that it's taken him, I'm not speaking for you, but maybe that's something that has slowed you down into being more mindful about making decisions.
It's very complimentary.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I think that's part of it. We're very engaged in our business. We've done everything. There was a time where there was 4 of us working here at the beginning, and it was, I could easily say, yeah, that was my idea. Or Kevin could be like, that was my idea. Like we did not have teams, and we didn't have, we grew everything from, our tap room to our private events, to our programs. There was a lot of things that early on that was just literally him and I, and then, our brewer and assistant brewer in the back. But, we clean toilets. Kevin is great with technology and has been able to keep our tap room up to date with all the things it needs, from POS, the TVs, the speakers, the sound for the bands that come in. We're just actively involved, and we know every inch of this space. So part of that is good. We've never have checked out and just been like, all right, like, we've grown with the business.
Yeah. I think it's a term that's used a lot when you say authentic, but we didn't hire somebody to come in and tell us how to do it or what colors to use or how to present ourselves. It's come from within. It's come from a combination of my personality and background and Meredith's personality and background and how we operate the business, how we present ourselves, and how we stay involved in the day to day is it's our personalities that are showing. And that I think that's people recognize authenticity and they want to be in a place where it's real people that you can relate to.
Yeah, and they see us. They see us at the events. They see us in the tap room. They see us pouring beer because we have a staff member that calls out like it's us. It's our little baby that we birthed.
Not to mention the fact that you're a husband and wife team and the union between you two, work and life together. It's an incredible achievement.
No, we know that.
How do you do it? Not everybody can survive that, but you did it. That's awesome.
The floors in the house.
Yeah, you really gotta, take time, go on a retreat, go into the jungle, come back refreshed, and then you're ready to roll again. But yeah, it's definitely has been a lot of, when I say adapting, that's a big part of that. It's just adapting and evolving as a person,
as a couple and as a person.
So when couples don't work out, it's because, one person's evolving and the other one's not, or
right. That's the truth. I've seen too many of that. I have to say though, that one of the, if I sort of see myself as a consumer at your product, the visuals of it, the branding of it is so important because I'm at the store and I'm trying to pick, and the story behind it, if you sort of start to learn about the purpose of your company with the give back programs, it's amazing. But the heavy visual element is such an important purchasing factor. So it really helps that you're an artist, the creativity that comes from you, where you oversee the brand. I think that's a magic part.
We've been blessed with, for years we worked with freelance graphic designers. They're all very talented, but we've been blessed the past few years to have an in-house graphic designer. And I would recommend that to any company. If you can do it, just make it an important part of your company because it changes everything,
Yes.
And especially if they understand your brand and they want to see it succeed and they have fun. And, it's a lot of, good graphic design is important.
I personally would like to see an animated commercial of your product on TV or somewhere. That would be really cool to bring the cans to life.
But to Meredith's point around the graphic design and the branding part, I think what she's not taking credit for is the graphic designer is able to create these visuals and the branding because she has a very clear vision and purpose. So when she's providing the direction, it's not ambiguous. It's not discombobulated. It's very straightforward. And she sets the parameters for the graphic designer to do their work and allows them to be successful.
I do. But sometimes I got a lot of stuff going on and he just comes up with something and he is amazing. And that's a good employee. That is somebody who understands the brand. He's such a huge part of it. So I might not be giving myself enough credit, but he really did. There is times where I'm like, can you just make something? But we have so many events. There's so much, there's so many things that we have going on. I mean, it's not just labels he's working on all these events that we have. We have a lot of stuff that's always going on. And then, just alone with the beer releases, all the stuff that goes along with it, sales sheets, keg collars, tap handle stickers, promotional stickers, posters. So it's a lot that goes along with it. And he's awesome. You can find yourself a good graphic designer.
Good graphic designer. Now, if you were to describe your creative vision, sort of directional sort of words that you share or relay to creative folks about your brand, what would they be? What do you usually say to them?
Oh, nobody's really asked me that question. I would say that, we've talked about authenticity, authentic. Mm-hmm. We're in the business of entertainment, so entertaining. Mm-hmm. We collaborate with a lot of artists. Our graphic designer is an extremely talented artist, a creative, the compassionate side of our business, helping others, and then just the constant. I think that anyone that has been here 10 years ago and returns 10 years later would see the evolution of the brewery. And even folks that have been coming for the past 10 years, we're always evolving, adding something to the brewery, new piece of equipment. We have 27,000 square feet. So we, have a playground to work with. So we always have something that we're changing or doing. And it's all, for the great atmosphere and experience for the consumer.
Those are great. The word evolve has come up a lot. So if you were to have a crystal ball and you look out to 2025 or maybe even the next 3 to 5 years, can you even imagine where you might be? Where do you see your business? How do you see it growing?
Well, we do have a project going on next door that we haven't really spoken too much about. We have opening up more about that soon, but we're going to blow a hole in the wall and we're getting a space ready for a cafe of sorts, basically just kind of getting it ready for someone to rent. And then 16 artist studios. So there's not a lot of artist studios in Savannah available. And we have this space and thought it would be great. I only know this because I lost my studio. The owner sold the building, and it took me a very long time to find a space. But not only to find a space, to find an affordable space, which still isn't very affordable. I have a studio mate, so we're creating opportunities for artists next door.
Oh, wow.
I mean, there's really only one great place that offers affordable studio spaces.
It's an amazing plan. How about you, Kevin? What do you see for the future of the business?
Well, I mean, we continue to grow in 2025 and beyond, spreading our wings a little further south into Florida, continuing our partnerships, partnering with fun, exciting brands like the Savannah Bananas has been a great relationship and partnership for us.
Mm-hmm.
So looking for more opportunities like that where we can team up with folks who have a lot of energy and creativity is always a lot of fun for us.
Is there a dream partner, if you can name one?
Oh, boy. If I had one, I'd be working on it.
Okay. But anything else you'd like to share about future plans that you want to launch here?
We're looking forward to the next series. I think the Ghost Army is going to be a phenomenal series of beers.
I think so, too. And the drawings up for all the art for that is going to be awesome, too. I can't wait. Well, Meredith and Kevin, it's been so fun. I really admire what you do, honestly. First of all, as a couple coming together and building a business like this is just tremendous achievement. And then, of course, all the work that you do for the surrounding community without sacrificing your personal passions. It's always good to see. And I love the fact that you incorporate artists. So all of that combined in the service background. Wonderful, amazing story. And what a way to live a life. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for all you guys do. We've been able to have such great opportunity to work with artists from Japan, Germany, Canada. So we're excited for this next one. It's just been a great collaboration with entrepreneurs. Such a fun time of year.
Thank you so much. We're very fortunate to have you guys.